Hello, folks. Thanks for joining in Office 365 introduction, a detailed introduction. And this is part 2 of the Office 365 Admin Center. I did one episode, Admin 1, which I kind of gave you a high level overview. And later I wanted to show you each and every admin center without going into the details, but still it will help you understand what these admin center looks like, because it's possible that you may not have access to all these, because for that you need to have a global admin access. So if you do not have that, then this will help you to understand what it looks like. And of course, you can spin up your tenant, whichever the way you wanted to learn. But let's take a look in this video on each. It won't take much time. And then in next 5-7 minutes, you will have a very good idea about different admin center in Office 365, assuming, global admin access, which I have it in my tenant. So if you do have, fine. If not, then this video, as I said before, here, this dashboard for Active Directory, I have the list for the user, my Active Directory, this is Azure Active Directory. And then you can list all the users I have, and I can do the password reset. I can delete user. I can create user. I have sign-in logs, audit logs. I can go on and on, pretty much think of it as an advanced version of Active Directory in the cloud. You can modify and all this. So I'm not going to go to the details because we'll leave it for a different day. What idea is that to show you what it looks like. Compliance itself, there you go, security and compliance. So if you happen to that, in that role, working for a multinational global company, then you will be given access to this. And then you will have access to this portal and do your job basically. And this pretty much explain your organization compliance score, and which can be improved. I have put some videos already, but again, that's what it looks like. You can generate some reports if there are any, or if I wanted to create some reports, the labels, you have to apply the data classification, right? Without that data classification, it won't work. Top 5 labels have been used in your organization, retention policies. This is where you define the data classification. For example, you have policies, you can change the settings, resources. So compliance and security itself is a huge area. You have to put time and energy to understand the whole compliance center and compliance manager work. It may not necessarily your organization or your company leveraging this feature, but that's there. And some companies or many companies, they have to meet some industry standard and compliance. And this is where it becomes very helpful. Now I'm going to go to the next admin center, which is an endpoint. As I told you before, an endpoint could be a laptop or a cell phone. And this is where Microsoft Endpoint Admin Center comes into the action. You can just be focused on this area, for example. Depending if your organization is pretty big, then you will be just managing the whole endpoint, which is, let's say, if your organization has 10 to 50,000 or even more employees, for example. So you will even need more than one people managing this portal, because, that's a huge area, right? So devices, for example, we are talking about what kind of devices I'm showing you here, right? Windows, iOS, Mac, Android. So it will give the history. In my opinion, in my tenant, I'm having just one device. So that's what it looks like. But imagine an organization which has tens of thousands or more than 100,000 devices. You can just find yourself within this area. So from career point of view, is another good to look for. Exchange, my most favorite, because I used to deploy a lot of Exchange back in days. Now everything is online and it has everything available in the cloud. And so many services in Office 365 are underlying infrastructure hosted on Exchange. But this is what an admin center, and if I have to do it, I can literally speak hours and hours. Maybe for the next 8 hours, I can just speak to each and every topic. But that's what it looks like in Exchange. And this is for you as an end user. Your mailboxes are there, your group mailboxes, your resource mailbox. When you create a contact, it says here, shared mailboxes, permissions, your organization, auditing, retention, and all that stuff. So Exchange itself is a separate career path for Exchange Online, depending what level of or big organization do you work for. Power Automate, let's take a look, but what's there, what the admin center looks like for the Power Automate, and what you can do if happens to be, again, size of the organization. If you work for a small organization and you happen to have or happen to manage everything yourself, yeah, you may want to leverage that, and that's what it looks like. It's good for people who are into data related area. So there are analytics available, common data services, Power Automate, what resources, capacity, what kind of data you can integrate here. So that's all the stuff here. And within the admin center, you have a Power BI. So I've used Power BI myself, where I ingest the data from different source file and gives a nice, beautiful graph, which you can present to your leadership. So this, you can be all creative. It all depends on which area you're coming from. So what I'm saying is that Office 365 is just not technical, but again, if you're coming from data, maybe, finance or business analytics stuff, this is where you can leverage. And even if you're an expert in your company, then you will be the, admin for that, for example. So in that case, then person like me will be coming to you, hey, I need some help. So that's where these business applications in Office 365 are really very, very helpful. While spinning up, there's no much data to show. I will move on to the next one, which is search and intelligence. Basically, I'm not sure. So I'll skip that one, search and intelligence. We'll go to the next topic, which is Microsoft Stream admin. We have OneDrive admin. Hold on. Okay, so let's try Stream. If I can open it, it was logged for no reason. I have no idea on that. So what we'll see in Microsoft Stream, as I told you before, it is the YouTube for your tenant. So it's not publicly accessible. You have organization, they use it for recording, for meetings and everything. So everything, you can do the live event, you have company policy, compliance, there are security and legal things also happen. So you can apply those policies. Data privacy, which is I'm talking about. How do you manage the data, content creation? So itself, it's in state of the art, and I've used it a couple of times and I really like it. Do I have my videos? I may have some available from my past online meetings. Here you go. You can see it. I have a few of them available recorded, and there you go. So you might have noticed on my YouTube channel. Now we go on to the OneDrive admin. So you can manage your OneDrive from here. Usually that is maintained or managed by somebody who's already a SharePoint admin. So they manage OneDrive. So I've not seen somebody just dedicated for OneDrive. So usually it goes with the SharePoint guys. And you want to have some policies whenever you want to sync with your Windows or Mac offline. So there are policies you can define, device access and all that stuff. You have Power Apps. Let me go to the security. And then what else we have here? SharePoint. And then we'll open Teams and Yammer. So let me go to the security. While security is spinning, wait for SharePoint. And then in the same time, also open Microsoft Teams so we can cover all of them. So security and compliance, as I told you before, it is separate admin center. And then you can take some creative tasks against size of the organization. And the licensing you may have, there is a state-of-the-art feature like threat management, records management, DLP, data classification, permission. Even you can go mail flow basically. So you do not want to give somebody an access to Exchange admin if they want to do some search against some mail. So this is a security admin can come and do the work. So that's the beauty of these roles in RBAC model, and everybody is specifically designed for that particular role. For example, e-discovery is very known and common, all that stuff. So now we GDPR, for example. Now we have an SharePoint administrator admin. So this will give me what file activities going on throughout my organization. That's one piece of it from the reporting. But again, you can have settings, you have content services. I can even define policies, sharing, access control, active sites, because SharePoint, you have so many sites. What sites are active, what sites are not, many other features, migration. ton of other settings, are available. So you can go and customize the settings and do the way you want it to use. See here, OneDrive, I was talking to you. So that's there. You can have some sharing policies, how you want to allow sharing within your tenant. So these are the policies there. Now move on to the Microsoft team. This thing did not exist 2 years ago. Now Microsoft has been asked and they've delivered this. This is state of the art. You can literally manage your Microsoft team, and Microsoft team is for enterprise voice and all that stuff is there. You can bring your phone, your 1-800 number, your direct lines, all that stuff. You can configure your gateways and you can make some policies, voice, phone. You can see team apps you can control. You can have the meetings, locations, what devices, phone. It's a full telephony thing available for you here in Microsoft Teams. So basically, that's the capability of all these admin center. And especially, as I told you, for Exchange, SharePoint, and Teams itself, and also Power BI and data analytics, you can just develop your career within those services itself. So it depends what's your career path, that's your journey. But again, this admin center, I want it to be more specifically for IT folks looking for career. I hope you like it, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks for your invite.